everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cassie. So I've come to the conclusion that most of my videos are probably going to be done at night, just because nighttime is vibes for me, honestly. Like, I don't know, nighttime is when I'm at my peak. Like, that's when I am my full self. I love nighttime. Me and nighttime is like this. I say it a lot. I'm a Scorpio, so darkest sign in the zodiac, and I just love nighttime. I mean, that's just what it is. So tonight's topic is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to change the dynamic up just a little bit. So this is something I've experienced my whole life. Nothing new to me. It's not really foreign. And I just feel like it would be fun to talk about, just something a little different to, spice it up a little bit. So from a young age, I have experienced paranormal activity. I mean, from an early age. When I was real little, I want to say like maybe my mom said 1.5, 2. I had night terrors like really bad, to the point to where like she literally could not get me to stop crying at sometimes. If I would wake up in the middle of the night from a night terror. And some of them dreams were like awful. Like I remember some dreams still to this day. I'm sorry, not dreams, nightmares still to this day that I've had when I was little. That still kind of haunt me a little bit. So I can only imagine how hard it was for my mom, to try to soothe me, because I was the one having the dreams, you know what I mean? And for her not to know what my dreams were about, that's hard to like kind of console your child, you know what I mean, and kind of comfort them and try to bring them out of that. So it was really rough for my mom, and for me as well. So that's something that I experienced like at an early age, and still to this day, like my dreams are really like vivid. Like I have really like real dreams. They feel real sometimes, and it's like what? And it's like, just I'll get into it more in a little bit, but just know my dreams are crazy. Like it goes down in my dreams. But yeah, so from an early age, like I've experienced, paranormal. I mean, from an early age, I can't even tell you what age it started. But my first experience that I remember at a very young age was at my aunt's house. She lived in, it was like I don't want to say like a farm home, but that's kind of like, I don't know, my memory of it, I guess. And something was off with this house, because my mom used to tell me stories about this house, and I just feel like I must have sensed it as a little kid, because I don't know, I just remember as a kid being in this house. I just always had weird vibes about this house. And I remember I was upstairs in my cousin's room, and I honestly, I feel like my mom was with me upstairs, but I don't really remember. I remember there was an adult, but I had like woke up, and as soon as I woke up, my cousin had like this Batman toy, and it was like the little toys where it's like different little characters like in a row, and they like pop up. Like if you press like the shape of the button or something, like it pops up. It was like one of those. And I remember something woke me up, and I looked dead at this toy, and like the things just started like popping up. And my mom had to be there, because I remember there being an adult, and I don't remember if I like woke up my mom but I just remember I was like really like creeped out. And I don't even know how old I was. I was probably like maybe like 3 or 4. Like I was like super young. But I do remember that was just like really weird to me. I don't know why that stuck with me. I don't really know if there was like more to it, and that's just kind of what I just remember of it. But I mean, my mom has told me stories about this house that it would make sense why I had this experience. But so that was my very first experience as a kid that I can remember at a very young age. So fast forward, me and my mom lived in this apartment, and I believe my sister lived with us at that time, because me and my sister are 10 years apart. So I think, I mean, once my sister turned 18, she hit the road. She was out of there. But I just remember so my mom's room was like on this side, and then my room was like here, like right next to hers. And I just remember I always slept with my mom, and I don't really remember why I slept in my room that night, or I don't exactly remember what led me to sleeping in my room, because I was always scared to sleep by myself. I didn't like um, to like be alone in the dark, which is odd because I love nighttime now. But um, I remember waking up and I like looked because my closet was like directly in front of my bed where I was like laying. And for some reason, I like looked up and it was like the only way I can describe it. Mind you, I'm probably like five at this time. And it literally looked like a big ass bear, like going into my closet, not coming out, going into my closet. And I just remember my heart was like even talking about it, I can literally feel how I felt. And I was young, you know what I mean? Could you imagine thinking that you're seeing a big ass bear walking into your closet at the age, like that is terrifying. And I just remember taking the covers over my head and just holding it there. And I don't really remember anything after that, but I'm pretty sure I probably ran into my mom's room because hell no, there's no way you go back to sleep after seeing something huge like that. And I mean, obviously it wasn't a bear, but that's how I remember. And the stuff was scary. I remember that. So in this same exact apartment, okay, I had my childhood best friend Samantha. I know you're watching this, and I know you remember this. Um, my mom had went to work, so her sister was watching us, and I wasn't supposed to be in my house, and for some reason we were. I don't remember exactly why. And I remember playing on this on the phone. I don't remember even. I don't even remember. I think it was a house phone, maybe. 'Cause I don't even think there were cell phones back then when I was little. Like, dang, that's crazy. I don't think there were cell phones. But we were like playing on the phones, and somehow one of us had called 911, or I don't remember. I was young. I was like 6, and um, I remember we seen the cop like pull up to the house, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, we're gonna be in trouble. And all of a sudden, like we were like trying to figure out what was going on, and I hear my upstairs door freaking slam, like it wasn't no little slam, like this door was like bam. And me and her looked at each other, and I just remember thinking like, okay, I can't run out the front door, because if I run out the front door I'm gonna get in trouble by the cops, because I'm not even supposed to be in this apartment with my mom not here. I'm supposed to be next door being watched. And for two, like we're playing on the phone, like, so I don't know, you know, I'm young, so I just scared. So I ran out my back door barefoot, guys. I had no shoes on, it was snow outside. Ran out my back door and freaking ran around the whole block, okay, barefoot. And she had like these bushes on the side of her porch, so I kind of like cut through the neighbor's driveway, like into the bushes, and like went up on her porch. Mind you, the cops were probably like, what are you doing? Like, and I had no shoes on. Like, that was suspect for one. And I just remember like, I don't remember what we had told the cops, or like what, because I'm pretty sure her sister had talked to them, but I don't remember that. But I remember being freaked out, like, and mind you, it didn't really dawn on me until after like the cops had left her house that something slammed my door. That's when it hit, and I was like, okay, I'm not going back in there by myself, because something is clearly in that apartment, and I don't want no part of it. And so yeah, that was just crazy. You know what I mean? Imagine being a little kid and all of a sudden you just hear one of the doors slam. You know what I mean? You scurry, because I know I ran. I ran out that back door like heck no. Fast forward to, we ended up having to move out of this apartment to go move in with my grandma. She was, you know, getting older, and my mom had to help her. She was starting to get dementia a little bit. So my mom had moved in. We moved into my grandma's house, okay? First of all, let me just tell you, bad vibes. I don't regret anything, because I feel like everything we go through is like, you know, for a reason. But this house still haunts me to this day, okay? That's all I'm going to say right now. But so we moved in with my grandma, and just all kinds of stuff always happened at this house. Like, this house was just old, you know. And my first memory was, I don't even know, honestly, what my first memory was, because so much stuff happened in this house. Like, I'm not going to get into all of it, because, we would be here all night, because all the stuff that used to happen in this house was just, it was crazy. But I remember I was in my room and my sister was staying the night with us. And we were in my bedroom watching TV, and my uncle and my mom, because my uncle had, he was staying there. He had walked into my room with my mom, and they're like, hey, do you hear that? And my uncle's the type of person, like, he loves to get a rise out of people. Like, anytime he can prank you or scare you or anything, he's on it. Like, that's how my whole family is. We honestly are like that. Like, we love pranking and all that. Like, that's just how we are. So that was always the vibe. And at first I thought they were playing, and he's like, do you hear that? And we get quiet. And literally you could hear something walking around upstairs. And mind you, everybody that was in the house was downstairs. So it was not one of us. Like, none of us was up there. And I start freaking out because I'm like, what the heck? Like, something's really walking upstairs. And it, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it wasn't like no little footsteps. Like, it literally was someone walking around upstairs. And just like talking about it creeps me out. Like, it's giving me really weird vibes right now. But I remember, like, I started crying because I was, like, freaking out. So my mom's like, no, we're just playing. It's a joke. It's a joke. And, you know, thinking back, I'm like, no, it wasn't. How could that be a joke? Like, who was up there walking around? Because we were all downstairs. Like, nobody else was in the house. And that just always, like, has stuck with me. Like, that was so weird to me that I believe that they were playing around, but they, like, you know, growing up now, you're like, no, you wasn't playing. Like, that really freaking happened. Like, and so fast forward to, I think I was in middle school, maybe. My room had moved upstairs, oddly. And I don't even know how that even happened. Somehow I ended up with my room upstairs. And all I remember is, like, I was asleep, okay? And I don't know if this was an out-of-body experience, but the symptoms of an out-of-body experience is, like, related so well with my experience, but I'm still not sure. So all I remember, I was sleeping, and I could hear, it sounded like if papers were, like, on a wall and the wind was blowing, like the papers was hitting the wall, like blowing off the wall. That's kind of what it sounded like. And all of a sudden, it was like my whole body just, like, started, like, doing this, like, and it hurt so bad. And I remember I couldn't scream, I couldn't say nothing, like, I couldn't wake nobody up, I couldn't open my eyes, nothing. But it literally felt like my body was, like, vibrating, but it hurt so, like, I was being electrocuted is how it felt. Like, it felt so bad. And it lasted for maybe, like, I don't know, it felt like forever, but in all honesty, it's probably, like, maybe, like, 30-40 seconds. But it was crazy. And so I woke up, and I'm, like, looking around. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? Like, what just happened? And my whole body was just, like, aching really bad. And I had, like, ran downstairs, and I'm like, Mom, you know, I'm crying, I'm freaked out, like, that's scary. And I, like, told my mom what was happening. And so the next day, we kind of got on the subject about what had happened. And she was like, it sounds like you had an out-of-body experience, because my mom has experienced those, okay? And she said the feeling that I was describing is the same feeling she had when she had one. And she said it's like when your spirit tries to get back into your body, okay? So within that happening, I tried to wake up, okay? And because I was trying to wake up, I couldn't, because my soul wasn't back in my physical body yet. It was, like, trying to happen. And because I woke up too soon, that's why I felt it. And it was just crazy. And I had another one, another time when I was staying with my sister. I had another one exactly the same way. Only the way that one started was, it sounded like I started hearing my heartbeat real loud, like thumping, like throughout my whole body. It was like boom, boom, like, and that woke me up. And when I started to, like, wake up and I tried to, like, move, I couldn't move. And when I tried to, like, scream to my sister, like, nothing, it was the same thing. Couldn't move, couldn't say nothing. And it was that same feeling, like that pulsating, like I was being electrocuted. That's the only way I can explain it. And you know what I mean? Freaked out. So I wake up, go to my sister, like, freaking out, and told her what happened or whatever. But yeah, to have that happen twice, like, it's crazy. And it's happened a few times after, but not to that extent. Like, it didn't hurt, but I have woke up and, like, where I was trying to wake up and I couldn't, like, my body was like, nope. So fast forward now to my senior year of high school, okay? So my senior high, I graduated a year early. Okay, I graduated, I was a junior, but I was a senior. So at the end of my school year, I had started driving classes. And I don't know if maybe this had triggered it, but the classes I was in, like the videos that they showed was, I was not messing with that at all. Like the videos that they showed, it was like dead bodies on the road of like kids that were like drinking and driving and got in car accidents, and bodies were out on the road, and just, I don't know, it was very traumatized. Like someone like me who's an empath, like I can't watch stuff like that. Like it messes with me bad. And so like I was having nightmares about these classes. So it was to the point to where like I would go to the class and I wouldn't watch the videos. Like I would just put my head down and sleep. And so I graduated high school, and everything was moving so fast. So I graduated high school. I moved back in with my mom because I was living with my sister while I was in high school. And so my mom had just got a house. I was moving in with her. I was getting my driver's license. I was about to turn 18. You know, it was like my whole life was just like changing. And I was in the car on my way to school one day, and I don't know what saved me, but if I would have gotten this accident, I don't think I would be alive. Like it would have been so bad. So I was driving my mom's car, and God bless her, but this little car was a little hoopty, like let me tell you. And I'm on the freeway, first time driving, just got my license, and I didn't want to drive the freeway, but the person that I was with, that's the only way they knew how to get there. And I'm like, okay, what? I mean, let's just do it. It's whatever. Get on the freeway, and the car in front of me like stops, okay? And it's my first time on the freeway. I'm already scared, like, and so I hit the brakes and almost smacked the back of this car. So I swerve over into this lane, almost hit this car. Like, I don't know. We got it out in one piece, didn't hit nobody, nothing. When I tell you I skipped my first day of college because I was so traumatized, because when it happened, the only thing I could think of was the videos and my driving classes. And let me tell you, I was not messing with that at all. So that was the start of my depression. Fast forward to, I was hanging out with, I remember this day, it was October 4th, okay? And I had just started my period, and I was hanging out with my best friend at the time, Sierra, and we was going up to campus. I think it was like an icebreaker or something going on that night. And when I woke up that day, like I just had this I don't know, just like this feeling in my chest that was like pain. It was kind of like pain. And just, I don't know, I was having anxiety real bad that day, and just like it was like anything I was doing wasn't helping. Like I don't know, it was like I couldn't shake the feeling. And I just remember throughout the whole day thinking like something is not right, like something's wrong. Like something's wrong. I don't feel like myself. And then there was like the pain in my chest, but it wasn't like a normal pain. Like it was really weird. I don't know how to explain it. And that was the start of my depression. For anybody who has depression and anxiety, listen, I know what you're going through. Shit is tough. And at the time, you know, I was about to turn 18, just starting college, just started driving, moved back in with my mom. So it was like everything at once, like, bam, you know what I mean? It was just a lot at once. And I went through my depression for 3 months. Like, it was to the point to where my doctor was like, yo, like, whatever you need to do, like, whatever we got to do, we got to do it. Because I was at a point so bad to where I was just like, nothing's going to help. Like, it's a lost cause. Like, I started becoming numb to everything. And I'm emotional. I feel everything so intense. So for me to get to a point to that of not feeling anything is like almost baffling to me. Like, that's kind of unbelievable, but it can happen. So, you know, went through that. And the house we were in, I just remember feeling like something was not right. Like, when we first moved in, like, I was hearing stuff and just like, I don't know, something was in that house. I'm not exactly sure what. And I think that kind of is like, helped my depression get worse pretty much, because I was, I don't know, connecting with whatever energy was in that house. I'm not exactly sure. I still don't have the answers to that. So, I mean, like I said, it was a lot going on. I went through my depression, and that changed everything for me. Going through that, getting to that low of a vibration, like, changed a lot for me. I was a whole, I mean, it made me a whole different person after going through that. So, that lasted for about 3 months. And after that, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like my spirit was just like knocked down. And it took me a while to get back to, who I really am. So yeah, I'm not sure what exactly contributed to that. I know that because I was in that low vibrational state, like whatever was attaching itself to me was like feeding off of it, and it just made it worse and made it worse. And it was so weird because it was like I wasn't myself. Like I wasn't like in my body is the only way. Like I felt like, this is how I felt. I felt like a prisoner inside my head, but like physically. Like I felt like what I was seeing on the outside was not my perspective. It was somebody else's. And whoever's perspective I was going through, damn, because that sucked. But that's the only way I can explain it. That was not my perspective. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it was paranormal, but I'm not saying it wasn't. I feel like it was paranormal just because it wasn't me. I didn't feel like it was me. I feel like it was somebody else, and I was just like looking through life through their eyes. And it was awful. I'm not gonna lie. It was so bad. So bad. But yeah, thank God I came out of that. But it did change me. I will say that it did change me. And then fast forward to, I had went with a few of my friends from work, and we went to go see The Other Side of the Door. And I don't care, call me crazy. Something attached myself from that movie. I don't know how else to say it, but call me crazy. I don't care. I'm telling you for sure. I still to this day will not watch that movie. Something negative followed me home after I watched that movie, okay? I couldn't sleep for like a week. Something kept waking me up. And it was just like that eerie feeling, like, you just feel like somebody's watching you, like just, ugh. And it was like, it would just like bother me. Like it was like getting into my head at night. And it was just like so negative, bro, like so negative. And I remember like it was like for like a week, and I had told the father of my kids, I told him, I said, listen, I'm not watching that movie, because he wanted to watch it. He hadn't seen it. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, let's try to watch it. I think we had rented it or something, and we was like in his room, and we were watching it, and I don't know. It's just like, I just had that feeling again. Something's watching me, and I kept telling him like, no, we need to turn this off. And I kid you not, I heard something tap on the window like 3 times. I looked at him, I said, turn it off. Turn it off. Whatever is with this movie is following me again, and I don't want to go through that again. Like, I don't want to feel like that. So he turned it off. You cannot pay me $1 million to watch that movie. That's how uncomfortable I was. So my previous house that I lived in, me and the father of my kids lived in this house together, and something was in this house, and we both knew it. We didn't really like pay it too much mind, because if you pay it more mind, it gets more active. And so we tried not to like feed into whatever was in the house, but definitely something was definitely in this house. And I'm not gonna say it was like evil, but it definitely wasn't like a positive thing. Like, I mean, whoever was in this house definitely was in a negative vibration, because we could just feel it. And one thing about me and the father of my kids, like, we are so in tune with each other. It's insane. Like I can't even describe it, but like if we're around each other, like it's like we feel everything so much more intensely, because our spiritual bond is so strong. It's crazy. So us two living together, like it's just, anything's gonna attach itself to us, you know what I mean? Because we have that strong of a presence for each other. Like, literally, it's like the bond is just so strong. And so we were in bed one night and we were getting ready to go to sleep, and I always sleep on my stomach, and he didn't really sleep on his stomach, so I'm not exactly sure why he was sleeping on his stomach, but he had his shirt off. And we were like talking, and then it just got quiet. And I remember I felt something like go like that to the back of to my lower back. And as it did it, like tickled my back, he goes, oh, wow. Or I can't remember what he said, but I was like, what? Because like instantly, like when he said it, I'm like, did he feel what I just felt? Like, how did he feel that? And I like looked at him like, what? And he's like, something just like touched my back. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no, 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 no. Because, you know, me, if that happens to you, you know, you start to rationalize, like, no, I'm just feeling stuff. Like, that could be anything. Maybe a nerve was, like, tickled or, like, you know what I mean? But for me to feel it, and then literally directly after it touched me, it, like, touched him. That, I was like, no. Okay, so that confirmed, okay. So now that we both know that we're all in here, like, we're all here in this room, like, let's acknowledge this. Like, you need to cut it out. Like, I don't want no part of it. Leave me alone, leave him alone. Like, let us go to sleep. And then it was just like little things that happened in that house. And I mean, it was like real subtle, but it was just like not subtle. Like, it was like subtle, but it was enough to let you know that it was there. And like I said, it didn't feel positive at all. Like, it felt like it was just like, I don't want to say evil, because I didn't really get like an evil vibe, but I definitely felt like it was like in a low vibrational like state for sure, because it was like the tension in the house all the time was just crazy. I remember a few times I was like sleeping, and it was like I would feel like someone like kind of like nudged the bed a little bit, and I'm like, okay, maybe like, because, you know, our baby slept with us. And I'm like, maybe the baby just like moved and I felt it. And, you know, I always like try to rationalize with it, because I'm like, if I start getting into my head about what if something like hit the bed or like this and that, like, it's going to be bad. So, you know what I mean? I didn't want to feed it the energy. So I'm like, okay, so I would just like turn my TV on or something, or do something to where like I don't know. From that, and then sometimes I would hear like scratching in the attic, and we used to think, you know what I mean, maybe something got up in there in the attic, like an animal stuff, but that just honestly didn't feel like that's what it was. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. That's never what I felt like it was. I never felt like it was like an animal up there. I always felt like it was like something paranormal. I don't know why. And I've always had it in my head that like when you hear like scratching in an attic, that is something bad, like it's a negative entity or something. And that's just always stuck with me. So when that started happening, I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what? I'm not going to record. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? This ain't paranormal activity. Like, we ain't trying to make you any stronger than you are. I'm going to ignore you to the best of my ability. And I feel like that kind of helped, because it didn't really escalate. And another thing that happened in this house was my son, Asen, he is now 6, but he was 5 when this had happened. I was downstairs and they were getting ready to go to bed, and he come flying down the stairs and he's like, mommy, 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 mommy. He's like freaked out, and I'm like, what is wrong? And he's like, I just seen something run from Audrey's door to her bed. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said it was like small, like the size of my 4-year-old. And he said he said it had like a white shirt, but he didn't see anything else. He just seen the white shirt. And I'm sorry, I'm getting really creeped out talking about this. And he said it literally like, oh, I got goosebumps. He said it ran from the door to the bed, and he said, and then it just disappeared. Guys, I have goosebumps from head to toe right now telling that, and I have no idea why. But it just creeps me out thinking about a little thing like running across the floor. But he freaking said it ran from the door to the bed, and I'm like, you know what? You guys are sleeping downstairs. Like, we're sleeping downstairs. And what's crazy about that is, so my grandma's house was built literally the same exact way that our house was built, because we were in the same neighborhood as my old grandma's house. Go figure. Have no idea how that happened, but it did. Whatever reason, we were in this neighborhood that my grandma was in. Still don't know. But the setup was exactly the same, okay? And I used to get nightmares. I still have had these nightmares, just not as often, about my grandma's house, about something being in her attic. And this thing is a demon. Like, it's not like a spirit. This thing is so evil. And it taunts me in my dreams. Like, I can hear it talking to me. And, like, I remember one of my dreams, I was, like, trying to get out of the house. And when I got out of the house, it was like, ew. I'm sorry, guys, talking about this, like, really just, like, ooh, overwhelming. But it was, like, talking to me out the window. And, like, this horrible, like, demonic voice. And, like, I'm not sleeping tonight, guys. I can already tell. I'm not going to get no sleep tonight. But, like, every dream that I've had about my grandma's house has been about her attic. And something demonic being in her attic. And I still have these dreams till this day. Why? I have no idea. And it's crazy that I move into a house that is literally built just like hers. Like, literally, the rooms are in the same place, the bathroom's in the same place, the upstairs is built the same way, literally to a T, okay? And then I hear stuff in my attic, and stuff is happening upstairs. You know what? Like, come on. Like, I don't know. That's crazy to me. So yeah, I'm not sure why. I have no idea why. I know there's a reason for it. But we are out of that house, thank God. There was hella issues with this house. I mean, hella issues. And I pray for whoever moves into it next that, I mean, I just pray for you guys. Those are my paranormal experiences. If you have any paranormal experiences, please put them in the comment below. I love hearing about stuff like that. My birthday is on Halloween. I love Halloween, fall. I love witchy vibes. Anything that has to do with Halloween, I'm all for it. So I love ghost stories. Yeah, anything that has to do with paranormal, like, I am all for it. I'm all ears. I could watch it all day, every day. Listen to it all day, every day. But yeah, so if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the post notification bell if you want to see when I post a video. Like I said, if you have any paranormal activities that have happened with you, please put them in the comments below. And have a good night.